Hello and welcome to Play Then Say. This is our notes for devs. So I've just finished playing Putrefaction, a game on Steam Greenlight. It's a little game that's been put up there and developed by Oleg Kazakov, or Kazakov, I guess. Oleg Kazakov, who has given us also great games like nothing. So it is looking like someone's first project, so we can't put them down too much for that. But let's see how well feedback is taken. Always a little bit worrying when you look at the developers page. Let's move the mic out of the way. And the only comment you see is a very nice comment with someone giving, I think, 9 million out of 10. Alright, let's start with feel. So part of a first person shooter is the feel, the immersion when you're in the game. As far as graphics went, I wasn't too disappointed by this. It's not AAA. It's not going to end the world or anything like that, but it looked like a ship. The monsters sort of did share a sort of similar aesthetic, a similar look, feel to them. So if it was a Unity pack that was brought, or he's kept it, or she, let's call Oleg and he. If you are a she, I do apologise. Write to me and I'll re-record this video. But from now on, you are a he. Yeah, he's done well to match it. And the ship itself is pretty nicely laid out. There's nothing that looks silly from the rest of it. The crates, the beds, the walls, the pipes, all very good. Almost, if I was going to be generous, an original Aliens look to it, with the retro futuristic, I think I'll call it. But, and by saying but, I've broken the rule and I've disregarded everything I've said previously, but please remember what I've said previously. The feel of when you're shooting, there is something insanely missing there, and I don't know whether it was because I wasn't using a controller, and I do like the feedback that you can get from a controller's vibration. That sort of extra added maybe in what I was missing here, but let's presume that it wasn't. I'm going to talk about, well, we see the submachine gun on screen here. No ammo for the person to use it, so oh well. Or give me the best example. Well, he's going to reload it. See, there is no recoil on the guns whatsoever. It just sort of makes you feel like you are just putting the cursor down and then holding down the button until the thing drops. With a bit of recoil, you finally get the decision of spraying and praying, or burst shotting and trying to actually get good. So just by putting in that simple mechanic, the game developer here could have put a whole different level onto this game, but they haven't. So please, if you're going to expand it before you do the next levels, get the guns feeling better than what they're feeling at the moment. The shotgun I did quite enjoy the feel of, but I don't know whether that's just because I was so beaten down by the submachine gun that by the time I got to that, it was good. Okay, so a couple of graphics that didn't bother me too much, not 10 out of 10 or anything like that, but there was at least some coercion there. The graphics did have a weird bug on them, I did notice, and that was with the skinless people. Once you shot them, they had weird white spots that sort of shone all over their bodies. I can't put my finger on why or how or what that would be glitching out to, other than it's hit recognition that they're rolling around on the floor, so they're getting hit everywhere. But you may want to have a look into that one, because while not game breaking, it did sort of ruin the immersion a little bit. The laziest part of this game, I'm going to say, is the level design. The problem with a retro shooter style like this one is that you're sort of confined, and these confinements you have to play around. You have to be a bit smart when designing your levels. Different things on different levels, certain switches or pushes that would increase or decrease the speed of which you're being attacked by, all help with the flow of this type of game, and it was missing that. It almost seemed that you opened a door, you went to a new area, and from that area everything just attacked you and you dealt with it, which sort of led you to lead things around the corner and just sort of stand around the corner and shoot them as they come round, which was a bit disappointing. Everything, I need to say everything, a long range shot, but that was an early complaint in the game. They did bring in the melee creatures later on, which was a nice mix. I did like what you seemed to be trying to do there. You had the weak shooters, the stronger shooters, the heavily armoured, and the suicide grunts. Suicide grunts I did like, but, and I do mean to use the word but there, because I don't really want you to think that I actually like them, they took too much damage for what a suicide grunt would be. So essentially a suicide grunt is an type enemy that just runs at you. They had a big spike on their head and they sort of ran at you to stop you there. But the idea of these that I find normally has worked very well in games is a low health, so a 1 or 2 shot kill version of them, but make them harder to shoot or need some sort of skill in some way. I mean, for these you just did generally move slightly to the side, and no matter how much time they had before getting to you, they wouldn't swerve or move their plan of attack. They would just keep going at you. So I feel that if they did move that around a little bit, it would be a lot less of an annoying enemy to deal with, because it wasn't hard, they were just annoying, because you got hit by one and the ones coming behind them would also hit you as well. For the rest of the AI, I didn't mind it too much. You need some better pathfinding for them, because as you can see here, there's a lot of enemies that get queued up with rocks, and I found that if you could get them just all lined up so you didn't move side by side, the only rock that could hit you was the rock on the front, because the back ones would hit each other. So maybe some work needing on the AI there. Length of the game, it was, and I think it took me 2 hours to complete, but that was with 40 minutes getting stuck on one level, with 10 minutes of stupid deaths and half an hour of just generally just getting frustrated and trying to run through the level. Oh, this reminds me, risk and reward. Risk and reward is a serious factor when on ammo conservation games. I don't know whether you meant to make this an ammo conservation game, but it was an ammo conservation game. And the idea is that if you come off these little paths and you're going to take these heavier things on in these rooms, that what you need in these rooms is either nothing or everything. Generally what would happen is you'd clear a room, about a clip's worth of ammo of people in it, and what you'd find in it is a clip of ammo. So generally you just shouldn't have done that room anyway, because you've just turned out where you're from. And there's the spotting on the characters. So yeah, that's one thing that you do need to address. So far we've got clever design, a little tweak on the pathfinding and the health of one of the enemies. Length of the game needs to of course be longer. And the secondary fire was a joke. Unless I missed something, there was only 2 guns that had a secondary fire. One was a submachine gun which shot a little electric ball, which would take 2 shots just to take down the weakest human enemies. So it was a bit useless, and it sort of just slowed the game down, because all that was doing was when I was one-on-one with someone, or I could get around a corner, I would just use that, hit, wait for it to recharge, hit, wait for it to recharge, then hit again, which wasn't fun. and just the pacing, it pooed all over the pacing. The second was the rocket launcher, which I think was an auto lock-on for the rocket launcher. But with the levels being as closed in as they are, this I don't know how that would actually be helpful, unless later on you fought flying things. If that is the plan, then yeah, you can stick that as the secondary, but work on a secondary for the shotgun or for the minigun. Oh, and for the axe, I completely forgot about the axe because I didn't use it. The axe had a weird action. You need to fix the animation on that, because you press it, it sort of, you sort of shook it twice and then swung it, which meant it was really delayed to do, and it looked a bit stupid, and it didn't feel at all good. With the axe swings, you need some camera shake to feel that you're swinging something heavy. You're not just swinging around a toy axe. Well, I think that's all the notes I've got for the old development of this game. I mean, it's Greenlight. It was £6.99 the euro pounds. By euro pounds, I mean, of course, UK sterling, before I get angry messages from euro lovers. But that was my note to Oleg. Well, I hope you hear this, Oleg, because I brought the game. If it comes out of early access, I'll play it again from start to finish. But if not, then, well, screw it. But anyway, enjoy the world.